Right, so now this is the last game, 5 of 5. They're going to be very nervous here. So they've actually first picked the Syndra, which is, I mean, good. I mean, Scout used to be known for his Syndra, if I remember correctly. So we'll see him. Obviously, it is kind of less one of them champions to pull a trigger, which I think is a bit risky at this point. But they're taking the Rise into it. Now, obviously, Syndra has a massive range advantage over Rise, but Rise can set up for ganks, so it's going to depend on the jungle matchup. So the fact that it's a Rise means they want the Xin. So here, they ban the Trundle away, which I think is bad if they want to take Syndra first. Leave the Trundle open, and then if they take it, you can maybe take someone into it. But they probably just run the Viego back as well. I think this is one of the champions that Genji can actually play. Probably spamming it a lot in solo queue. I know a lot of pro players were. If they go with the Aphelios, I'm happy with that as well, but yeah, the Viego's good. I think we just don't let Junjie ever plays in. Okay. So now they just want to look to take something probably like the Ashe, to be honest. Set up for Xin Zhao as well, and they can also at least deal with the Aphelios. So it looks like they will go with it. It's a very, very strong pick, and it's great for fighting, which, again, as we saw from this series, they just love to do. So now they're looking towards bans. So they're looking towards things that can get rid of this Philio. So the Thresh ban, we're also going to see probably like a Braum ban, maybe a Lulu ban if they decide to go more short range. Like if they decide to take like 2 melees here, then, you know, on hit. Lulu could be really good, should I say, sorry. So the GP ban, okay, yeah, very good top laner. They've showed they like it. They need to get rid of Braum here, unless they plan on taking it with the Ashe in R4, which if they do, that's completely fine as well. Ashe Braum is such a strong lane that I think that's fine. We did see an Ashe Braum lane in this series already, though, I think. No, we didn't. We haven't seen Ashe Braum so far. Yes, we did, sorry, in the game that we just watched. My bad. So they did lose on it, but... So they ban Renekton. I think this is complete grief. Like, even their coaches are tilted right now. Because why would you ban Renekton here if a team has been showing Renekton early permanently? Like, they're clearly looking to play towards something else. So, it just doesn't really make sense. Like, it's not a valid ban there when, you know, they need things to keep this Aphelios alive as much as possible. They've already banned the Thresh. Like, just get rid of something like the Braum or the I mean, Lulu isn't played as much, I guess, so it's, but I think it's a very good lane with Varus. It's very strong, and it means that on hit Varus can actually do damage and be safe, which, you know, you shouldn't need another champion for that, but great. Now they have to pick Braum here, right? Like, there's no way they don't, or unless you want to save Braum for R5 and take something just tanky top. Like, I just want to see a tank. Okay, there's the Braum. Okay, yeah, there we go. Because now they've got the setup for bot lane again. If they don't int mid, then great. I mean, they did have the Syndra last time with the Sylas, which is a good matchup. But now they do have a Rise into a Syndra, which, you know, Rise can still farm into Syndra, and he can dodge her E with his Face Rush. So he does have the ability to actually run her down because she can't space him as easy as other champs. Kennen, again, I like to see this priority on it. It's a very good champ. I think Maiko is just kind of, he's just feeling himself for this rel, to be honest. I don't think it's the best pick here. Yeah, Leona would be better. But maybe he goes it just because he's feeling very confident since he's just won 2 games on it. Although his Leona was extremely good. I think he'll go with the Leona, but I wouldn't blame him if he went with the rel. And he does have Kennen as well, which, you know, is great, and it gets E in very easy. So I think Rel is very busted. There was a period where I would take Rel in comp like very, very high priority. I think it's extremely good. So right now they went with the Jace counter into Kennen. I guess that's fine because GP is banned. At least Jace can, you know, fight back a little bit with the Kennen, and potentially even kill him if Kennen missteps too. So that's something that can potentially happen. So, in terms of comp for the final game, I think in terms of team fight, the Kennen and Rel combo is going to be absolutely disgusting. W's main win condition is going to be Xin Zhao, getting a lot of pressure early, and then Rai's getting to a point where he can scale, which would be important. Now, they do have to try and make sure that bot lane just stop inting, because I feel like the bot lanes in this game have been a little bit all over the place. I mean, Viper missed so many Qs in last game and his ultimate on multiple occasions, so I think, they just play around their advantages. Obviously, like I said, Ashe Braum is a great bot lane for getting ahead, so I expect Xin to path from top into bot lane here. That's what I'd hope to see anyway. So, yeah, he's going to path into bot. The Viego is... see, I'd like to see this Viego also pathing into bot as well. Okay, so it's just scrappy. So Viego is having a scrap with Xin Zhao right now. Xin Zhao will win this, because Xin Zhao's early game pressure is massive, although he has his E. I'm not sure where he used it there based on the observers, but he did have his E. Now, I do want to just clarify again, considering this is a second place team against a 7th place team, I think WE have played one hell of a game, and they have really, really performed and stepped up. Now, they have had a lot of problems, and I think those problems are the reasons why they got knocked out, but they've really, really stepped it up, and they're playing extremely well. So, okay, so Viego is starting bot. I really don't like this. I feel like the Aphelios doesn't have enough protection in bot lane to actually be pathed away from. Like, I feel like Viego should just take blue, use his red to, have more potency in these early game ganks at level 4. And then just play around that. I think this is really grief that he's pathing away. And we can see here, like what are they supposed to do in this bot lane? They're in a very, very hard bot lane matchup for them. And they're going to get no jungle support anytime. LPL do be kind of competitive, you're right, Abdul. I'm surprised you're still watching. But this is what I mean. So, when we previously said that the games are win if Jinjia knows how to path, and they're lost if they don't know how to path, obviously he gets broken by this game, because he's pathed badly here. And he's obviously going to win, because they're at Worlds. So, bit of a spoiler. This is kind of the unfortunate thing about watching the VODs back. Like, we will be live viewing Worlds games, live. So we will be able to, say things as they're going to happen, and it's not like we've watched the games before or anything. But obviously for now, it's, yeah. Especially since Worlds is in Reykjavik again. It's a shame. I would actually like to go to Reykjavik and watch them live, but it's way too expensive. Like, way too expensive. No way I could afford it. So, I mean, here, we're kind of seeing this. I mean, the matchup, how expensive? I have no idea. I think it's like in the thousands. I think to go to Reykjavik, it's like £1,500 per person. I don't quote me on that. I haven't actually looked, but I just know Iceland is very expensive. I cannot afford that. Probably, yeah. Probably about 1,500. Yeah, but still, it's very it's just a very expensive place, because there's so much tourism there. It's basically, the price is beefed up with tourism, especially because you've got like the black sand beaches, you've got the hot springs. There's so much shit there. It's basically a very unique place, and it just got completely went crazy with tourism. But yeah, so I'm surprised that Furious actually is fat. Now, I like that they've both ADCs have gone with a longsword start. This means they're both looking to go on hit, and they're both looking to go into... Actually, no, it doesn't really. I mean, Ashe is looking to go into shield, but I mean, Aphelios doesn't need to. I think it's probably best he does, because he's going to benefit from that lifesteal. But I think so far this game's been very, very slow, which, considering there's a Xin, I would have liked to see Xin split the map somewhere, but split the map top this game maybe, just to try and kind of punish this Kennen, because I feel like bot lane completely Hard smithing. Yeah, so it's been Rel game for multiple games now. The last game was Rel as well. No, the last 2 games EDG have played Rel, and they've won both. So, and he's had some really good plays. Like, actually, it looks like this is one of his champs, you know? He's practiced it a lot. So that was actually a really good trade by Syndra. Rise is actually dropping lower mana, so I want to see Syndra freeze. Like, what's she doing? Observers, please. I want to see Syndra hold that wave. Like, hold that wave, even if it's a slow push, match the reset, and then just come out. Because then what happens is Rise can never break this. Viego can just come and gank, which I think actually might be happening now. And then if, you know, whatever happens, Scout can just walk back to lane then, and he keeps his TP advantage, and Rise will actually lose a lot. So I think that's what Scout is doing. I can't see exactly because it's not focused over there, but I think that's... no, it's not. He just instantly cleared the wave. He just wanted to go for the wave reset instead, which I don't really like as much. So now Syndra needs to just instantly push this in, reset, and then spend her gold. Otherwise, Rise is going to have a huge advantage. WE get access to the Silly Dragon, which again, it's a mountain. Like, crazy that they're allowed to get this. It's so powerful, it's unreal. They don't have as tanky people that build resistances this game, not like the Renekton, but still, it's still super, super powerful. I don't like this blasting 1 pick. I think going double Antome and then going into the alternator is just a better early purchase because you get more burst damage instead of just raw damage. I mean, right now, okay, so they just push this wave in. They just need to reset it. Otherwise, they're in big danger. They know that the Xin Zhao isn't around here because if he is, he'll be going to his blue buff right now instead of ganking. But I think they just died. They just die in the 2v2. See? And this is the thing. This is the thing. Junjia is griefing this team so hard. It's unreal. Like, in multiple games now, he only does well if the rest of his team do well. No, but you get pretty much the same AP from double Antome. So it doesn't really make sense, you know? Okay, so this, again, this was just Ashe. Oh, okay. 1 second, let my PC stop dying. Yeah, so they're 435 each, and they give the same amount of AP if you can double it. Okay, so this was just unfortunate. Like, the fact that this went down is crazy. They just need to crash this wave. So the reason this was bad is because all they had to do was crash that wave and they were good. Like, crash that wave, back off, reset, perfect. But instead they tried to overforce and they got caught. Because the thing is, when it comes to Ashe, if Ashe is in a position where she can run you down, she will always run you down. Those slows are insane, and the slows are increased by crit. So later on into the game, she can run you down even more. But even without any crit as base, those slows are still so huge that she can kill people. And since she has equal overall attack range to Ophidios at 600, it means that she can always attack him when he can attack her, unless he has Calibrum, the sniper, which means that then he will have the same range as Caitlyn. So 50 more. It's not going to be massive. That 50 range is very much impactful when it comes to him against, say, a 525 range champion. But when it comes to a 600 range champion, it isn't going to be as big of an impact. Even though he is still a massive lane bully because of the amount of poke he has, heal he has, damage he has. He just kind of does everything. And he has CC, which means if you pair him with something like a Thresh instead of the Rel, you can Aphelios Graviton into his Q, and then you can just completely, like, you can just hook them every single time. So this is a bit crazy, but like, they're getting desperate. But I think they actually get the kill. Okay, nice. So that was actually a really good response by Scout to TP in here, because they were kind of griefing and Scout was like, no, not on my watch, and then just kind of kills them. So this was actually very good by Scout. I'm actually glad he did this. Because that just saved the game. Like, if the Ashe gets another kill there, or multiple kills on 2, like, there was actually an opportunity there for the Ashe to get 2 kills. If she gets 2 kills there, I think this game is pretty much over, because she gets to her mid-game spikes way too soon with that. Yeah, the the gank and the just I don't know. It's that bush. It just brings out the worst in people, I swear. Okay. So at this point, what we're looking for is to just use resources to get this Aphelios ahead. Like, if this Aphelios gets ahead, perfect. And obviously, it's kind of rough because the jungle hasn't passed towards bot lane this game, which is... it's mind-blowing, like, how... It's crazy. But... So, Scout just clearing out vision. Obviously, there's another ward in there. They are using Herald to get this. They're going to get this fully. Now, what I'd like to see here is Xin Zhao and... Or at least Braum leave. Yeah, okay, great. Because then Braum doesn't get any of the gold from the tower, which means it gets spread between the Ashe and the Xin. Now, it's still a bit of a waste going on the Xin as well, but... at least the Ashe gets a bigger sum of gold when she's the carry, you know? Okay, so this was really good. They actually baited the Ashe ult out. And then as soon as the ult come down, the Rel just instantly W'd. And since she'd already started the W animation when she got stunned, it still goes through. Kind of like Triss Jump or Ezreal E, it still kind of goes through. So it's one of the really, really big things to Rel. It's one of the reasons why she's kind of good here. Even though, you know, she's not really enough to support this Aphelios through lane, in my opinion, but she's still good. So the Viego actually just leaves that now. Xin Zhao gets that dragon. This is really bad because... what is the soul? Okay, it's Cloud. Okay, so luckily, thankfully, again, this Cloud is a soul that, you know, as EDG, you don't really want to prioritize going towards dragons that are going to give a Cloud soul. So if you do get either Mountain, Ocean, or Infernal early, like, you don't have to put as much priority on it because you know that you're going to get one of the good 3 as 4 dragons later on into the game. So... You know, I mean, it would have been nice if they would have got that first mountain, but the second ocean doesn't really matter as much, I don't think. But overall, they're just playing the scaling game. They're just looking to scale. They can also get 4 clouds now on Aphelios, which is very beneficial on Aphelios and Syndra when they all, and Rel and Kennen actually, and Viego. So Cloud Soul is actually good on all of them. It's not the best. There is better souls, obviously. Infernal's great, Ocean's great, Mountain's great, but they only have Cloud, so it is good. So it's now a case of WE don't really need to focus them out as much. They can play for scaling so that this Rise can really start popping off, and they can hope the Rise can be the carry of this game, because even though the Ashe is ahead by 800 gold, she's... Whoa, that Xin W looked like a hit. Nah, he's on low ground. He's on low ground. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Okay, that's so sad. Like... He needs to throw it. Is it low ground higher, high ground lower? If you're on the low ground already. If you're on the low ground, you have to aim higher, sorry. If you're on the low, you have to aim higher. High, you have to aim low. I'm fairly certain. Every time I play a champion with skill shots, I usually test out on like the first skill shot and remember. Yeah. Because he's on low. If he would have aimed higher, that would have been a lovely kill. So, that's a shame. Yeah, hitbox is small, especially low ground is a killer. Like here, this area, this little kind of bridge, or sorry, this is basically, you have to imagine this as like a slope, right? This is like a slope leading down into a river. So this would be like a beach-ish. So this is completely lower, and this is kind of like a raised point. So if you wanted to hit her, you needed to, from low, throw it higher. So they actually hit. And from high, throw low. Okay, so WE now, they're kind of scurrying about to try and use this gold lead. But I think the compositional difference won't matter. They're going for this Herald. This Herald isn't too bad, actually, because Xin Zhao's bot camps are fully cleared, and he has nowhere else where he needs to be right now. So this is fine for Xin Zhao to go for this Herald. Does his entire team need to go to it? No, not all. If they just stay in lanes and get pressure, then that's more than enough. Okay, so a nice little pickup here. Scout out of position. Gets rooted by Rise, jumped down by Xin. Okay. Syndra players and being out of position in this series. Name a more iconic duo. Okay, so they have no ability to dive. So they're not going to do that. They're just going to play it slow. Like, if I'm EDG in this game, I'm happy. Because even though I'm 5k behind, which is substantial, we've had 2 games in a row where WE have thrown their leads. So what we're waiting for is for them to throw this lead, and then we snowball off it. So if I'm EDG, that's what I'm looking for. Especially considering they have an Aphelios. And they have a Kennen as well. Like, Kennen ult into a Aphelios ult is disgusting. If they actually pull that off, you'll see it. Because the Kennen ult roots them all, Aphelios ult, and then that splashes on all of them. And he literally just does damage to everybody. Kennen just has to make sure that his engage is around a point where they're very, very clumped up. So I was at, what, 15 minutes? Okay, so around about here. This'll do. Okay, I was a bit further. That was a replay of him, Scout getting caught out. Which again, like I said, is unfortunate, but I don't think it's going to change the outcome of the game. So right now, EDG are just kind of looking for picks. They want to look to set up around this dragon. They need to get around it and put more vision on. So Mako needs to move first. Are they going to get baited by this control ward? I don't think so. Okay, so there's a TP in there. They knew they were in there. Okay. Okay, never mind. They're fighting in a choke point. Like, this is terrible. Like, they're fighting in a choke. They didn't even know that this was warded. And then Kennen ults into this, and they just walk up too soon. Kennen needs to go in first, and then ult them all in this choke point, and then Zhonya's, and then his team follows up with that. With the Aphelios ult, etc, etc. Aphelios now is hung out to dry, and he's also won blue-purple, which isn't the highest amount of damage either. So if anything, he should have been in mid lane getting prio, so that this didn't happen. Like, fighting in choke points against a Jace and a Ryze and a Braum, like, that's insanity. That's crazy. Like, they need to fight in big open areas where they can, you know, just do a ton of damage. Syndra can use all of her Qs with her ult and then just eat them afterwards. Yeah, okay, this was just carnage. Complete and utter carnage. But they're very resilient from behind. Like, very resilient. So you can never give up on EDG. Like, as soon as EDG look like they're losing, they win. They win. Okay. Right, so, okay, let's go back just because we were tweeting. Sorry. So, we have, so tower for the cannon, which is okay, you know, they're bringing it a bit back. They are looking to dive here. They don't have the volleyball to dive as much, but the Rel gets instantly one-popped. I don't feel like I was saying at the draft fades, I don't feel like Rel was the best pick here. I feel like it was just something that he was comfortable playing, that he just thought, yeah, you know, I'm going to play this just because it's safe for me, you know. It's something that I'm happy on. I've just played 2 games and popped off in both games. Let's do Rel for the reverse sweep, which does work, but it's not because of him. He's not the one that's going to end up winning this game for his team, in my opinion. Like, I think the only way they actually win this is if Aphelios just completely pops the fuck off. Like, this guy needs to just go nuts. Flandre getting caught again. Thankfully, the movement speed. Okay, so Jace used his flash there. And that does mean that Flandre is going to have his... or Flandra, I don't know how to say his name, sorry. He's going to have this flash up before the Jace in the next fight, which is really, really beneficial. But, you know, this next fight is going to be for the Baron as well. So, Jace using the flash there to kill a Kennen. That's already 0, 1, and 0. I really don't think that's worth. But, Kennen will have flash advantage when it comes to the next Baron fight, which could be soon. So they managed to actually spot vision on them going to control the vision in the area. Rel is caught out right now, but nobody can really punish her and follow up. They do know exactly where she is, though. Oh, no. So they're pinging where she is permanently. They know that if they're going to win this game, they get a pick on Rel, and then that's how they win. Again, they're 9k goal behind. Well, 8k, but... So this isn't looking very good for EDG, but... So missing doesn't really get called because there's nobody else to follow up there on the Viego W. They're just going to clear out this vision throughout the jungle, and then they're just going to play to just clear out these control wards as much as they can, I guess. I mean, WE have complete control of this objective right now, and this is such a shame to see because WE are playing this game extremely well. Like, very, very well. Especially this Ryze. The Ryze is the main carry, and he's huge. Now, unfortunately, the Ryze, if he gets shut down, then that's going to be painful. Okay, Aphelios with a little bit of poke. Okay, he didn't actually... his sniper dropped there. So... Viego's just kind of using his E to just kind of get as much information as possible about where they are. So, are they going to try and get a pick here? Oh no, Viego. Oh no. Okay, so he's using his E to just clear out this vision, and they've managed to get vision control back of the area, which, so WE traded their vision of the area back in for a base and a spend, which, I mean, Ryze has just got his Seekers, which he's doing plenty of damage, so going defensive at this point is fine. Ash is getting a Ginzu's now, which at third item Ash is really, really big. She'll do a massive amount of damage. The Jace is... you know, close to finish his Mana Moon. So this is kind of the point of the game where WE is by far the strongest, and they really need to start bringing this game home. If they don't, then it's going to be very, very sad for them. So right now, they should be looking to go and re-establish vision control of whichever objective they want to go to. I mean, it could go... I mean, I don't think it's worth them going Cloud here, because even if EDG get one Cloud, that's great. And you don't really want to force this Elder so soon. You really don't want to force this Elder so soon. Because you have a Ryze who's scaling, who's just about to get his defensive item. You really don't want to have this Elder respawning anytime soon when... I mean, to be fair, if EDG had vision that they were on that dragon right there, they could have just rushed Baron. Potentially. So now they just go and get mid-prio again, which they can do over and over now with Ryze, because Ryze is... You know, he's at the stage where he just melts waves. Like, there's nothing he can really do. So, again, they've just established vision control here. They need to clear this ward out. They don't actually know it's there. Now, this is a bad fight by WE. The Ashe isn't even here, so... Although Viego's kind of stuck. He can't really get in without using his ultimate anyway. And he doesn't really want to use his ultimate straight up because he wants to use it as an execute, since it does more damage the lower HP they are. So again, they're just consistently clearing out this vision in the jungle, and they're just doing this. So WE are actually playing this really smart because they're not going for Baron because it'll be a flip. What they're doing instead is they're just consistently threatening the Baron over and over with their vision control. If they walk up, so this ward back here is amazing because, you know, this actually spots them on it. So what could actually happen here is Kennen can maybe TP in ult and then Zhonya's. Oh, he doesn't have a Zhonya's yet. He went for Oblivion Orb. Why doesn't he have a stopwatch? Stopwatch is so important on Kennen, and the fact that he doesn't have one is so big. Unless he just kind of goes nuts here. Nice Rel ult into a 5-man Kennen ult. This is the Rel Kennen combo I said. This is the Rel Kennen combo we were discussing earlier. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. They'll replay it, but that deserves a replay from us as well. Like, this is the thing. When you've got this combo, and this is why I think Kennen is super underrated, if either Kennen or the Rel get this combo, then they just go nuts. Now, it's a shame that this Aphelios wasn't here as well to follow up on it. Or maybe he was. I think he was, actually. I think that's where the majority of the damage came from. So see, we get this huge Rel ult. She gets them all in with that initial ult before she dies. And then this allows Kennen to just come in and 5-man. And then the Aphelios can just ult for the 5-man. And he's also got this, he's got red-white as well. Which, red-white, you take the fight. Like, he's just going to run them down. Like, it's crazy. The amount of damage he does now because of this is insane. And he's just going to keep healing. And see, he just kind of chases them down. Unfortunately, Jace has enough burst to kill him. It's very sad. I would have really liked to see Aphelios just get all the kills there. But that does bring him back from, what, 12,000 gold lead to roughly only a 6, which is still pretty bad, but it's getting there. Again, we're going to see the replay. So as you see, the Rel manages to get her ult off before she dies, which means Kennen can then go in and then Aphelios can get this big ult. This is where their team comes into kind of context, and I think that this is kind of one of the things that they're looking to force. Very good team fighting comps in draft and good execution. So this is kind of one of the things. They're a team fighting team. Like, I feel like EDG are all about those big team fights, and even if they take something in draft that might not be as good, it doesn't matter because they know how to play with it as 5. And yeah, comfort does matter a lot, but you know, I mean, I think they're playing really well. Hey, how's it going, Riv? Have a good day to you too, my dude. Yeah, Mad Lions are slightly like that as well. Like, very much like that. It just goes to show, like, where do you think Mad Lions are getting a lot of their strategies from, you know? I think Mad Lions are a very good team, and they also play very good in the mid-game. I think Humanoid's a massive kind of shot caller for them, and he's an extremely good player. I think Humanoid is an absolute beast, to be honest. I think he's very good. So, WE, now, they did manage to get this Scuttle Crab, so, you know, they have managed to make a lot of this gold lead back as well. This through just completely rinsing out the enemy's camps, and this is how you get gold leads at this point in the game. You just make sure you rinse out the entire enemy camps and play on that. Now, oh, this was his 3,000th assist. That's crazy. That's so cool. Why is he doing that pose up? I hate these Riot poses, man. They just annoy me. Not annoying me, but they're just cringy. I mean, that's what sounds... Okay, nice result into the back, but there was a ward on there, so they do know that they're there, but it's a very good result to just instantly melt down the Baron. This is one of the best uses of results in the mid to late game to get this kind of timing advantage, because they actually managed to divert the vision from the Scuttle Crab by using it. So that was actually really good. Now, they are going to run them down, and I still think that EDG have a lot of fight when it comes to these team fights. They've shown that they know how to play the Rel Kennen combo, so now we're just waiting to see that Rel Kennen Aphelios all with a combo. Syndra doesn't really need to do that much, although she is building into her Seraph, sorry. So she's going to have that soon. Aphelios Collector, again, I really don't like it, but it's whatever. Kennen does have a stopwatch now, so that's going to be how they look to win. So this next fight, I predict, is actually going to be the one where EDG ends up winning and pulling this game back. Because if they get really good ult with Kennen into the stopwatch, amazing, you know, they're going to pop off. They're going to be really, really good. So this was patch 11.15 as well. So we've got 3 patches of games to look over in 5 regions. We can do that before Worlds. But as we can see here, they're starting to siege the base. They do have Baron buff, so it's very hard for Syndra to actually clear these minions out. So now they're going to look to siege. Syndra can still clear them though, because her clear is still nuts. This is good, kind of. This is good that they're kind of pushing into the side like this. Like the fact that they've synchronized these waves is good. How EDG come back from this is unreal. They have to get a really, really good team fight off. Now, if they get a team fight off, with the previous combo that we said, it's going to be a very, very good situation. But that's their main reliance. Okay, so the Veigar with the flank. Okay, he managed to get the Xin down. Nobody else can really follow up on it. He was a bit too soon with it. Should have stayed inside his cloak a little bit longer with that. Ryze is pushing mid. They have to go. Like, this is the only opportunity they have to make anything work because the Ryze is in mid lane. Okay, so big clumped up in the area. Okay, here's the Relal. Here's the Kenanal. We're going to see it. Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. And now they're going to rush the Elder. There's no way. This Ryze Shanks is a beast. Like, he's extremely good. What the hell? What was this TP from Flandra? Like, did they not expect that they take it this quick? It's crazy. WE have played this game so much better. Like, honestly, so much better. There's still 10 or so minutes left. Like, unless they can get a... I mean, to be fair, the combo that they can actually achieve is enough that you can still fight with an Elder, actually, because you can burst them out before they even manage to get damage returned on you. So, the one thing that they're going to struggle with right now is this Jace poke with the Ashe poke and this Elder. That's going to be really, really difficult for them to actually hold this out and survive, especially considering this bot lane's being kind of pushed into. So... Okay, so they managed to get this bot inhib. They're going to siege the mid inhib as well. And this is kind of one of these game-ending situations for WE. Because all they have to do now is back away from this, go reset fully, and then go and just 5-man this top tower. They have the ability to. But will they? That's the question. Okay. So they're looking to end out. They need to just focus on this tower. They need to hit it. Ashe needs to hit this tower. They do still have Elder. I think they've got 1 minute left on it. So I think how are they going to look to end? There's got to be a big Rel cannon here. There's got to be... Michael, you have to just pull the trigger. Like, if he doesn't... No! Okay, never mind. The cannon brings it back. The cannon! Oh my god, no way. Aphelios ult, but doesn't really do much. They do manage to defend the Nexus for now, though. They managed to pull them off. Zinzan managed to get the W on the Aphelios, but he didn't actually jump in on it. Now it's down to this Aphelios to just keep clearing out the waves and stay alive, which he's not going to do. Okay, now WE ends. So WE actually won this series. Okay, so they actually won this series. I thought EDG would have won because they're through to Worlds, but I guess they just have more points from Spring Split, I guess, or they still continue playing. But this was actually a really good game. Now, it was very, very hard. We did see glimpses of the Kennen and Rel combo, but WE just played way too hard early. Oh, EDG must have gone into the lower bracket from this. But WE early game is scary. Like, they play so aggressive and it just works out. So I mean, this was a really good game though, and yeah, so we'll leave that one there.